In this video, we'll learn how to fly close to the surface, which requires a bit more skill than orbital flight. This is mainly because we have an impact point with the surface, and if we don't pay attention, well, we're going to have a face-to-face with the ground at a high speed. The first thing to do is to switch to surface flight mode. This changes a few things in our displays. First, the flight display will now break down your speed to surface and vertical speeds. It also shows your radar altitude, which is your height above the actual surface. The second thing that happens in flight mode is that we see different vectors in the vector ball and the external view, which are these four arrows. These are the forward, back, left, and right vectors, and you might be able to notice that they are aligned with the horizon. In fact, whenever you're aligned with the horizon, the vector ball's horizon line will be highlighted. When the craft is aligned with the horizon, using the engines will change only the surface speed, without affecting the vertical speed. This is handy when you're trying to land and need to hit a specific spot. Burning forward will increase your speed. See how the red X moves forward. And burning backwards moves it closer. Burning left or right will make you turn, rotating your velocity vector. But see what happens when I burn right. The right vector keeps moving away. This is because as I turn, the velocity vector rotates, which also rotates my right and left vectors. I can try tracking them by hand, but the craft is smart enough to help me with that. Align right and hit the lock button. See how the craft icon is now red, showing it has orientation lock. As I burn right now, the craft rotates to track the vector. See how this also moves the impact point to the right. To control my vertical speed, I can burn straight up. I can point the craft up or switch over to vertical engines. See how this rotates the vector ball. Note how the vector ball doesn't tell you where the nose of the craft is pointing, but instead where the engine's thrust vector is pointing. Orienting towards the center of the blue area means I'm thrusting upwards. Now the vertical speed is coming down. In surface flight, it's good to keep an eye on the vector ball, the flight display, and the impact display. The flight display shows your altitude above the surface and the time to impact. The impact display shows your trajectory to the impact point and how fast you're going to hit it. Now let's put this together for a short flight around the settlement of Makara. Let's start with a bit of vertical thrust. Switch to mains to get some surface velocity. Now let's align with the right vector and burn to turn around. Let's find the back vector and kill our surface speed. My surface speed is close to 0 and the X is straight below me. Now I'm switching to vertical engines to control the descent. See how I'm using the RCS thrusters to nudge the X towards the pad. RCS thrusters are exactly what I need now to have this fine control. Make sure to keep that vertical speed under control, RCS for light touches. I'm also switching to fine throttle mode, which limits the output of the engines and makes it easier to hover and control my speed. And now I very gently bring it down to the pad. And that's a landing. The best thing is to try this out for yourself. I suggest you try landing anywhere first before trying to hit the landing pad.